So with that being said, we're going to transition here. Make sure that you download your booklet, your young adults booklet, and we are going to be transitioning to the My City, My Community pitch program. I'm going to introduce the panel judges here. Your panel judges are going to be Chase Ross, going to be Evan Ellers, and going to be Simon Yee. So just to give you a little bit of kind of an introduction of explanation of why we chose these judges, they're going to give you their kind of pitch intros. So we're going to go straight from their pitches into the competition. So first pitch will be Chase, second pitch will be Evan, and third pitch will be Simon, and then we'll get right into it.
Cool. Thanks, Justin. Hi, everybody. My name is Chase Emanuel. I'm from New York originally. Right now I'm based in Nashville, Tennessee. I lead venture community for a fintech company called Alto by day. I scout for Lightspeed Venture Partners by night. And for those of you who don't know what Lightspeed is, they were a VC firm that put the first check into Snapchat back in the day. So $400,000 then returned about $4 billion at IPO. So we could talk about that a little bit later for anybody that's curious how that works. I was a travel founder in a past life, and I actually spent the first half of my career in the public sector working on workforce development programs and education programs for our communities. And so like, I'm really excited to be here and listen to these pitches and think about what the future of work is going to look like post-pandemic.
What's up, everybody? My name's Evan. I'm 25 years old. I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania right now, and I'm the founder and executive director of Sharing Excess. We partner up with grocery stores and restaurants and take any of their unsold food, and we distribute that out to hunger relief organizations and food banks throughout the area. We've delivered over 3 million meals so far, and I started this business as a student. I really, really believe in student entrepreneurship and the power of students. A lot of food goes to waste in the US, about 40% of the food that we produce. It's over 120 billion pounds of food. You can fill over 700 football stadiums all the way to the top with leftover food. And that goes to waste every year. That's more than double the amount of food that we need to literally end hunger in our country. But it's tough. It's a logistical problem. You got to move it from point A to point B with vehicles and people and kind hearts. So we're working with students to try and solve this problem. We've moved over 3 million pounds of food here in Philadelphia. We really want to grow into New York City. I'm from New York originally. If anyone here is interested in this, I, of course, would be more than happy to talk to you about how we can grow it. But more than anything, I'm just really, really excited to be here and see all the pitches because I really believe in student entrepreneurship and want to help you all get to where you're going.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Evan.
I guess it's my turn.
Yes, sir. Next
all right.
Up,
hey,
Simon,
guys.
good morning.
Hey, good morning. Hi, you guys. My name is Simon, originally from Queens, New York, Flushing. Yeah, my background is I'm a growth hacker and now an accelerator director at a crypto company called Consensus. My specialties is driving viral growth. We make anything go viral, people, businesses, etc. And we drive ROI-driven online marketing campaigns. So I've been doing that for the last 10 years. You know, some of the work that we've done has helped founders who are now friends raise over 122 million over the last 5 years. And, you know, really excited about this pitch competition because I think New York City represents, you know, some of the best talent in the world. And you guys are creating the future that we're going to live in the next 10 years.
Awesome, Simon. Great to have you on. Please show your love. Please show your respect for our panelist judges. So I'm just going to go over the pitch competition rules really quickly. As a matter of fact, there's going to be 5 panelists, one by one. They're going to show their initial pitch submission videos. And basically, we were going to ask the young adult finalists or team to present their pitch slide deck, which will give the judges and the audience a better understanding of the pitch idea. Meanwhile, the judges will be taking notes and will share them out loud with the finalists. Each finalist will get to answer one question if they are present. The judges will then score each of the finalist pitches based on innovation, impact, implementation, and presentation quality. The audience will also get to vote on their favorite presentation. All competition results will be announced at the end of today's event at 1:25 p.m. So with that being said, let's get started. We have the first finalist presentation, which is Matthew and Chad. Matthew and Chad from Brooklyn. Let's go.
My name is Matt.
My name is Chad.
And we are Waste Terminators. Waste Terminators is basically a startup company that provides recycling services to eliminate waste. And when we do those waste, we pick up our waste and then create new materials that will be useful for the world again.
What we do, we connect individuals that use our app, Waste Terminators. We're independent contractors who then pick up their garbage and take that garbage to the recycling center with our partners, NERC, that we plan to partner with in the future.
And also what we do for our company, we do it in our East New York communities. So basically, all you gotta do is just hit us up in our website, or in future plans, we're gonna create an app, but in our website, we'll provide those services and we will help you right away. And we are Waste Terminators. Join us, yeah, pollution.
All right, so which judge is gonna give some feedback first?
Yeah, I mean, I can kick off. I really like this space. I like where Matt and Chad have focused their attention. Garbage in New York City is a problem, especially around finding recyclables or like recycling efficiently. I'd like to see more done. I think this is the kind of thing where you can actually really get the city behind you, right? Like the citizens of the city behind you to help figure this problem out. And I actually think the solution doesn't have to be super tech. I think it can start with something like a SMS notification that I have stuff to pick up. So I love that it's something that can be implemented relatively quickly. And yeah, I like it.
I totally agree. Awesome. Any other feedback from the judges?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Chase here and Matt and Brad. This is an awesome idea. In Philadelphia, we got voted one of the dirtiest cities in the US. So I'd love to see something like this over where we are. But what Chase was saying, with this, starting out as SMS or text message, I think that would be easy for you guys to lift it off the ground. And that's how relationships are built and word of mouth is built. So, starting with that MVP would be important. And also we could even look at how maybe this could be a nonprofit model where you can get support from the city and possibly even hire folks to go and do these cleanups as well that are, returning back to society, whether they were formerly incarcerated or potentially disabled, and make further impact that way so that you can spread the wealth around by helping people who need the jobs as well.
I love it. I love the feedback. And Chase, Evan, the SMS idea on top of it, brilliant. Matt and Chad, I hope you all are taking notes. They're helping you out, boys. They're helping you out, fellas. Any other feedback, Simon?
Yeah, the only thing that I would add is I love how local and direct the idea is. It's not like this thing that creates a thing for this other thing. You're literally seeing an opportunity, a problem in your community, and you don't. What I love about this idea is you're presenting it as an opportunity, and you're trying to build a business by making your community better. So I love that. I love that.
I love it. Finding a need and just directly getting it. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so let's move on to finalist presentation number 2. This is Kyra, Steven, Cassandra, and Destiny. With that being said, let's go.
The criminal justice system has been the multitude of problems, most notably racial inequality.
Statistics show that there are over 2 million people in the nation's jails and prisons. That's a 500% increase over the last 40 years. Black men are 6 times more likely to be incarcerated, whereas white men and Latinos are 2.5 times more likely.
Racial inequality has led to the mass incarceration of young men of color and has also led to the disproportionate sentencing between blacks and whites. This has caused longer sentences, which has affected the family of those who have been incarcerated for a longer period of time.
Solutions include removing the judge's discretion and also ensuring specific guidelines that take in consideration the nature of the offense and the family as well.
Awesome. Now this is finalist presentation number 2. This is their present slide. And so if I can see here, it's racial inequality in justice system.
Okay, good morning. And as I already said, my name is Destiny Cannon, and my team's topic is racial inequality in the justice system. My team members and I are all members of the Bronx Community Action Team, OYU affiliated. We range in the ages between 18 years old and all reside in the borough of the Bronx. BXCAT is a community of youth advocates who take a leadership role in setting and accomplishing goals that will lead to positive community change. Our product and service description: we're bringing fairness to the community justice system, the criminal justice system, and we consider this an invaluable service. By promoting fairness in the criminal justice system, we staunchly believe we will be providing a tremendous service by eliminating inequality that have disproportionately impacted people of color. Not only are we talking about limiting judges' discretion, we are also advocating for new sentencing guidelines that will all but eliminate disparity in sentencing between people of color versus whites, as well as those who are well off versus the less fortunate. Moreover, the grid would move to create a closer balance between retribution and deterrence versus rehabilitation. What makes this innovative is that new guidelines will severely limit under current law an enormous amount of attention that is placed on retribution and deterrence, while not enough on the likelihood of rehabilitation and reoffending. We will be implementing it by a passage of legislative law and governor's signature. The time to enact justice reform is always now, now, now. Realistically, however, obtaining a passage of new sentencing guidelines will be done in a 2-year process. In order to make this a reality, we need to work first with grassroots groups, faith communities, businesses, cities, and state elected officials. For resources, we will be utilizing social media platforms, funding, press conferences, a venue, spokespersons, and more. Some potential challenges would be convincing starch and/or conservative thinkers, lacking funds, and gaining access to mainstream media. That concludes our presentation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Destiny. I love the way that you all have I love the way that you have presented your ideas. You all had the all-encompassing branching out, thinking of what's needed. Let me get in there. I'm not a judge. Judges, what's up with feedback?
Yeah, I can kick off again. Destiny, I certainly personally identify with the problem you're trying to solve, and I appreciate you and your teams basically working on my behalf and others in our community. I think what's interesting here too is that you have an extremely ambitious goal, which is incredibly important. That's you're getting ready essentially to move a mountain, right? And in order to do that, you need to have as much support as possible. And I think one way to think about moving mountains is actually to break it down into smaller boulders, right? And then think about like what is our entry point into this market, and how do we essentially like land and expand, right? So from getting, it sounds like a 2-year process to get the signatures you would need to put the proposal forward to sort of redefine sentencing guidelines, right? Some of the questions that popped up for me were, what is there a point in the system before the sentencing where you can insert yourself a little bit earlier in the process that helps give more people in our community a shot at not getting bad sentences, right? Because from an investor perspective, the question is, will there be enough resource for the project that you want to build right now? Does that make sense? Right. So basically, how do you think about a crawl, walk, run strategy that gets you to the sentencing, that gets you to figure to changing sentencing? Like, what might a entry point into this market around awareness look like? And then how do you put the team together around it to go after the bigger opportunity?
I love it. Thank you, Chase. Thinking before the problem, before it gets to the almost the uncontrollable. I love it.
Yeah, just piggybacking off of Chase's feedback here, I think one of the ways that you potentially go to market is thinking about the social media implications of your idea. I mean, if you look at some of the other movements that are happening, Black Twitter is a force, right? Snapchat is a force, and TikTok even could be used for good. So I would challenge you guys to think about tangible ways that you can get your community to thunderclap, it's called. Get everybody to basically tweet at the same time, same day with the same hashtag, get things to go trend, and then use that to basically be your entry point.
Woo, I love that. I love that. All strike at the same time across universally. Amazing. Good stuff. Destiny, I hope you're taking notes.
Yep. And Destiny, great job. Totally agree. This is such an important issue. I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of really awesome organizations working on this problem here in Philadelphia. And the biggest thing that stands out is just the data itself and the numbers that show that incarceration is without a doubt racist, and that also returning citizens, folks that are coming back from prison as well, have really, really high rates of success. And just putting that data at the forefront to convince the people with sort of the conservative mindsets that you gotta move them to actually, consider what we all see as like pure logic and reason. Those numbers could be super important for you just right at the forefront. And also I love that it's youth leadership. And I think that can actually help you get a lot of advocates on your side. Meek Mill does a lot of this work here in Philadelphia, and I think he'd be a great person to reach out to for this, Jay-Z included. I think getting those people on your side, and as Simon and Chase were saying, really utilizing the social media aspect of this and striking all at once would be great. But for sure, Meek does a lot of work here in Philadelphia around that issue. Same with an organization called Uplift Solutions in Philadelphia, if you ever looking to expand further in the East Coast.
Thank you so much, Evan. So Meek, Jay-Z, Uplift, heavy work there. So there's a lot of resources, a lot of help, a lot of like-minded people in that area. Destiny, I hope you all follow up on that and see it through. So that was finalist presentation number 2, team number 2. So now we're going into team number 3, Cynthia and Crystal. Cynthia and Crystal are coming out of Brooklyn, and let's take it away with their pitch video.
Good evening, and this is our pitch for a student organization called Opportunities. And so the co-founders are me. My name is Cynthia, and I'm a rising freshman at Cornell.
Hi, I'm Crystal, and I'm a rising freshman at MIT.
And so the problem that we sought to fix was that students in disadvantaged situations aren't aware of the many college and career readiness programs available in their community.
So we wanted to devise a solution, and we called our org Opportunities, pun intended, which is a student-run initiative that provides students with information regarding college and career readiness opportunities. We're currently using social media accounts like Instagram and LinkedIn, and we're also using our website to spread opportunities.
And so the reason why we're pitching to the My City, My Community competition is that we want mentorship. We're looking for a mentor to get opportunities to the next level. And we're also seeking capital. We're planning on using the prize money to support and expand opportunities.
Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, feel free to email us at opportunities@gmail.com.
Yay. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, if you wanted to expound a little bit more on your presentation, on your pitch, go right ahead.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna go over like our second presentation that we made. So I'm gonna go start. Hi, good morning, everyone. This is our presentation about Opportunities, a solution co-founded by me and my partner, Crystal. So hi, my name is Cynthia. I live in Brooklyn, but I went to school in Staten Island. And in the fall, I'll be a freshman at Cornell University.
Hi, my name is Crystal. I also go to school in Staten Island and I live in Brooklyn, and I am a rising freshman at MIT.
So Opportunities is a student-run initiative that provides students with information regarding college/career readiness programs, such as like internships, fly-in programs, volunteering opportunities. And we have our social media accounts in Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and our websites, opportunities.org.
Thank you. And I'm going to talk a little bit about our value proposition. So the benefits. Opportunities enhances the academic experience of students in New York City and beyond. We boost their confidence in applying to college and jobs by providing information about related opportunities. Knowledge is power, and we strive to make an impact on our community by helping students prepare outside their classrooms. So how is this idea innovative? Well, Opportunities is an organization for students by students. We're going to utilize social media to unite and inform high school students of opportunities that they should take advantage of. All right, so some of the resources we'll need and challenges we'll face. And so the first one, who will we need to work with to make this a reality? We would love to be mentored by a software developer or a business manager. And some of the resources that we'll need include capital, material for any events and workshops we'll host, and of course, time. And some potential challenges we see ourselves facing is balancing work, school, and life, as well as team collaboration while we expand and grow, and any potential tech issues that we might face while we're making the website and the app.
So yeah, I'm going to go over our timeline. How will we implement opportunities? We plan this to be like an online presence where we have like a social media accounts, a website, and the production of a future app. How much time will it take to implement? We already have our social media accounts set up and our website, but we're looking to like expand, maintain, and also improve. And in the future, we hope to work on an app within a year so that you can like scroll through opportunities on your phone.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. And if you have any questions, feel free to email us. And I know someone put our website in the chat, so feel free to check it out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ladies. Judges, do we have any feedback for Cynthia and Crystal?
Yeah, I can get started. I think great slide presentation. I think it's very well structured. You're communicating your idea very clearly. I think what I like about this is that you've already hustled to make this thing exist, right? You already have your social media accounts. You have a clear plan of attack as far as what you're going to be doing with the funds that we invest. So that makes me feel good as an investor. And I think that the area that I would challenge you guys is, on the topic of mentorship, try your best to look for people who come from the communities that you're trying to serve. The closer that mentor is from that community, the more the participants will have buy-in. Because oftentimes in underprivileged areas, the feedback is, that's great for you, but that's not my life. You don't know my life like that. So it's really important to empathize with these communities and have the community serve itself.
I love it. Spot on, Simon. Beautiful. Homegrown examples, homegrown leaders to get mentored from that area, because people recognize who they see and they gotta identify with you first for that impact. I love it. Any other feedback, judges?
I could go next here. I thought it was a great pitch. You guys identified a problem, Cynthia and Crystal, and I thought that it's very well organized. Great name too, which is actually a really important part of your venture, is to just have something that sticks and that you can kind of understand what the model is about just by reading the name. I also like the approach of seeking mentorship, because that's a really good approach that actually opens the doors for partnerships and for funding. Is if you seek mentorship, you seek guidance, and then that will lead you usually to partnerships and to funding along the way. I definitely would love to see a little bit more of what else is out there and how you are specifically differentiating, your work from others that are also providing these services and opportunities.
Thank you, Evan.
And just to close out, I agree with everything that Simon and Evan have already shared. I'm very curious though about like what that business model is going to look like over time, right? So don't necessarily need to have that answer right away, but what's going to be important when you do go to potentially raise capital is like, what is the business model? How do we make money? Right. So is this something that you will potentially be asking students to pay on a monthly or annual basis, some amount, or will you be working with third parties that, might be putting up the cash in terms in some sort of partnership agreement? So just thinking about that as the next step, I think will allow you both to move a little bit quicker, a little bit faster.
I love it. Thank you, Chase. Thank you, all judges. Thank you, ladies. Crystal and Cynthia, I hope you all were taking notes. And so now we're gonna go to team number 4 presentation, Justin Schneider out of Staten Island. Let's go.
Hello, welcome to a presentation on the inaugural My City, My Community competition. We are honored to have the privilege of presenting our proposal today. Without further ado, Welcome to Erasing E-Waste, an international youth-led organization that mitigates the e-waste crisis through education, community events, and crowdsourced data. My name is Justin Schneider, and I'm a 17-year-old from Staten Island, and along with Alexander Shekhnazarov, a 17-year-old from Brooklyn, we are rising seniors at Staten Island Technical High School, where we co-founded Erasing E-Waste. An avid environmentalist, I'm the president of our school's environmental club along with Alexandra, and conduct research on clean energy, specifically on the efficacy of perovskite solar cells at Stony Brook University. I'm also really into STEM and compete in various Olympiads, such as the United States of America Mathematical Olympiad Series, Science Olympiad, and the New York State Envirothon. In my free time, I compete in tennis and volunteer within the New York City Jewish community. Alexandra is also an avid environmentalist and focuses on other social justice issues as well, interning recently for the ACLU. She is very passionate about baking and cooking and plays basketball during her free time. On the bottom right, we notice a group of students, the very group of students that we mobilized for our first e-waste drive in August of 2017, so our 4-year anniversary is coming up quickly. Aptly named, our organization's objectives fall into 3 categories: education/outreach, aggregated data, and e-waste drives, all to make e-waste services equitable for all New Yorkers. Whether it be lobbying local politicians through petitions garnering hundreds of signatures, speaking at virtual panels, or connecting with other environmentalists at change-making summits, our team is fully committed to educating the broader New York City community on the dangers of disposing of obsolete electronics improperly, as well as how to dispose of obsolete electronics the correct way. Then, through our novel algorithm-based approach to aggregating data, we visualize New York City's e-waste crisis in real time, utilizing periodic surveys delivered to targeted sections of the 5 boroughs. Our data, which is compiled into a heat map, is used as crucial guidance on where to host e-waste drives based on where respondents indicated interest in recycling e-waste. The drives, which are organized in collaboration with the New York Department of Sanitation at no cost to us, offer a seamless and accessible opportunity to New Yorkers to dispose of their old electronics. Our innovative approach with our algorithm draws inspiration from contact tracers during the peak of the pandemic, in which cases were analyzed on a zip code by zip code basis, allowing the city to effectively distribute resources. Similarly, our surveys revealed the zip codes in which residents indicated interest in recycling e-waste, allowing to similarly leverage our services systematically by hosting e-waste drives in public parks within the aforementioned zip codes, particularly in communities that are often out of reach of other methods of disposing of obsolete electronics. So here's a small snapshot of our timeline in the past as well as into the near future. Our e-waste drives, both in our school, in public areas, and in a separate branch that we have in Bihar, India, as well as Queens, New York, have been a success. And we look forward to resuming them shortly as COVID restrictions have been lifted, which definitely has posed a challenge recently. Another challenge within the near future is bureaucratic issues in our recycling partners delaying our e-waste drives, but we hope that automating our algorithm further using seed funding will circumvent this issue by connecting our third-party recyclers to the data aggregated by the algorithm instantaneously. Our education sessions have been continuing since our inception in August of 2017, albeit on Zoom, which necessarily hasn't actually hampered our efforts. Recently, we also launched our Big Things Are Coming Upcycled initiative, in which we post strategies on how to recycle e-waste in a creative manner, as well as general information about the e-waste crisis on our Instagram. Of course, we would like to acknowledge our partners in making this possible, with organizations such as the Department of Sanitation, the Lower East Side Ecology Center, and Fourth Bin offering free recycling services to us, and organizations such as General Motors and the Ashoka Group offering help with networking with other environmentalists and providing us with seed funding, and the Staten Island Advance for publishing our work. Within the near future, we will continue to benefit from seed funding and publication on the Staten Island Advance, but working with our recycling partners is an absolute must in order to dispose of the collected electronics in an environmentally friendly manner. Thank you. Here's our contact information if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out.
Wow, awesome. I thought that was very thorough. Judges, if you have any feedback, just go ahead. We can rapid fire it. If we agree with another judge, then there's no need to just kind of double back on it. If you say, hey, I agree with this and just maybe something else, go ahead. Feel free.
Yeah, love the idea, love the articulation. It's very clear. Same deal as the last team. I love how there's a very clear scope of work that's going to be done with the proceeds from this. So that makes me feel confident that this is a good use of funds. The thing that I want to draw attention to when I was doing diligence on the website is this project's been happening since 2017. And that gives me a lot of confidence because you have an abominable will. It indicates to me that you have grit and that you have a dedication to this cause, which is super important.
I agree.
Yes, I agree with Simon. I thought that this was a very well organized, great presentation. Obviously, Justin, you got a knack for the pitch. My one suggestion, I honestly didn't know what e-waste was. I think the explanation of the problem came a little bit too late in the presentation, and I sometimes bringing it back to basics and leading with that problem statement and the solution. Making us as the 273 people in here that aren't maybe as passionate as you about environmental impact, we need to know about the problem first and foremost, so that everything you say, we're just as there with you every step of the way. And then also, again, looking at differentiation. How are you all different than Sierra Club? What does the actual logistics look like? Are you purely education, or are you facilitating partnerships with your recycling partners? Those are some of the more clarity things I would want to see. Obviously, can't do everything in a 1-minute pitch, but I think that definitely educate the masses about what is e-waste and why is it important? What does it accumulate to in terms of the overall pollution and environmental damage that's going on?
Yeah, and I would just say that I think you covered all the basics of the pitch, and where I'm at as a judge or investor is like, okay, let's zoom out a bit then. Like, where do we land in 10 years, right? What does the future of this space look like if you are the one that gets to decide what kind of world we're going to live in? So, that's a great place to be in, where you have gotten an investor interested enough to understand like what you see as your growth path and like where you want to be. So just continue working at it. And this is very exciting.
Awesome. Thank you, judges. Great job, Justin and Alexandra, which is team 4. And I would believe the last presentation number 5, we have Victoria coming out of Brooklyn. Let's go, Victoria.
Hello, my name is Victoria Yang, and my pitch for the My Community, My City competition is a long-term program designed to destigmatize mental illness through education. Mental illness is a crucial social issue that affects thousands of young people within New York City. A report by Thrive NYC states that 32% of high school students in New York City describe feeling so sad or hopeless almost every day for 2 weeks or more in a row that they stop doing some usual activities. In order to address the lack of mental health education in K-12 public schools, my program will pair groups of students with a trained mental health coach in semi-weekly meetings throughout the school year, allowing students to build trusting relationships with an adult that can support them both educationally and emotionally as they learn more about mental health. Implementing the program as early as the 1st grade will allow young children to become familiar with the concept of mental well-being, creating a foundation for habits that will contribute to good mental health as they grow. If given the chance, this program can ultimately give rise to a future generation of happier and healthier individuals. Thank you.
Hey, Victoria, good morning.
Morning.
Glad to have you here. Love the pitch. Love the pitch video. Did you want to expound?
Sure, I can go on to just talk about my presentation.
Sure.
Okay, so my name is Victoria Yang. I am 16 and I am currently a rising junior at Hunter College High School on the Upper East Side. Some of my hobbies are poetry writing and music production, and I also participate in clubs such as my school's Asian Cultural Society. I'm also a writer, editor, and advocate for Child Resilient, which is a student-run nonprofit dedicated to mental health education. So my program. The TEAMS program was designed in order to address the lack of mental health education in K-12 public schools. Through this program, groups of students will be paired with a trained mental health coach in semi-weekly meetings throughout the school year. The students will continue to meet with this specific coach until they graduate to the next stage of education, such as from elementary to middle school or from middle to high school. Within these meetings, students will gain an understanding of good mental health and emotional awareness, and gradually build trusting relationships with an adult that can support them both educationally and emotionally. Implementing the program as early as the 1st grade will allow young children to become familiar with the concept of mental well-being, creating a foundation for the development of habits that will contribute to good mental health as they grow. The TEAMS program will make mental health discussions common in the classrooms all over the 5 boroughs, thus effectively helping to destigmatize mental illness. It will also create an environment where hundreds of thousands of students will always have a trusted adult by their side to support them. By prioritizing emotional well-being in students, this program will lead to future generations of happier and healthier individuals in New York City. As of right now, mental health education in public schools is nowhere near as intensive as it should be, and is often limited to just a few health classes or mental health days a year. Moreover, school therapists and guidance counselors are often outnumbered hundreds of students to one, making it difficult for them to focus on each of their students individually. The TEAMS program is innovative in that it greatly decreases the student to professional ratio by assigning small groups to one mental health coach. It is also a long-term program, which is rare in public schools, and centers around gradually building trust with students and creating meaningful connections with them. It will provide mental health education and support to students in a personal and immersive way that has yet to be done in public schools. For the implementation of this program, students will be assigned to groups ranging from 5 to 10 students in size and paired with a mental health professional called coaches during their first year at a school, for example, first grade, sixth grade, or ninth grade. Middle and high school students will also be able to fill out a form about their personality and sociability in order to be grouped with other students that they would feel most comfortable with. The mental health professional is required to be patient and empathetic, as well as trained in child psychology and development in order to qualify for this position. The groups will meet in thrice weekly 40 to 60-minute meetings where they will have conversations with their coach about the general lesson plan for that meeting, and the students will remain in those same groups until they leave the school. The initial implementation of the TEAMS program will take place in one elementary, middle, and high school over the course of 3 to 4 years to determine if there are any modifications that need to be made. After the course has been approved, it will go on to be implemented in the rest of New York City's public schools over the course of another 4 to 5 years. In order to make this a reality, I plan to work with the New York City Department of Education, Thrive New York City, which is a mental health initiative launched by First Lady Chirlane McCray and Mayor Bill de Blasio in 2015, and New York City Family Resource Centers. I will need funding as well as mental health professionals trained in child psychology and development for this program, and I will also need public schools to be willing to implement this program into their curriculums. A few potential challenges I may face in implementing include lack of professionals, lack of funding, and students refusing to attend meetings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victoria, representing presentation number 5. Judges, do we have any feedback for Victoria?
Yeah, I thought this was a great presentation, extremely thoughtful. I think one area I'd like to learn more about as you continue to refine the presentation is what would some of this content and curriculum look like? Like walk me through a day in the life. And I think that will give me or give, folks that are listening more conviction about where this could fit within, a high school health plan. So more understanding of what that looks like. I was thinking about what does happiness look like? What does success look like? What is the measurement between that? How do I tell what's draining me or energizing me? Those kind of things. I'd love to learn more.
I love it. Curriculum breakdown, subject matter breakdown. I love it.
Victoria, Evan here. Fantastic job. I love how you started very clearly with the problem and how you articulated it from a data perspective, and also that you're going from a long-term approach, starting early and catching on to this idea that when you implement early, it creates a habit of wellness, right? Mental health is a lot like physical health. It's exercising, it's practice over time. It's something that has to become a part of your routine and ingrained in your daily operations, right? So I really love this. And, to one of your main barriers that I think, and the reason why schools don't have a lot of these resources is funding and professionals that can do this. And I definitely love the partners that you outlined there to overcome that obstacle. But the key to funding really is going to be that pitch that you just gave us, right? That you instill the confidence in the folks that do have the resources to give you, $500,000 check to hire, 10 or 15 therapists to work throughout an entire year and build that model. And just like as our speaker said earlier, Danielle, people invest in people. So you will be a really important part of this process, just refining that pitch, knowing the problem better than anyone, and implementing this in a way that hasn't been done before. Fantastic job. I think that you're on to great things.
Thank you so much, Evan. Thank you so much, judges. You all did an amazing job. Thank you for the feedback. Victoria, hopefully you all took notes. Finalist presentation, team number 1, Matthew and Chad, great job. Finalist presentation number 2, Kira, Stephen, Cassandra, Destiny, amazing job. Finalist presentation team number 3, Cynthia and Crystal, awesome job. Finalist presentation team number 4, Justin and I believe Alexandra, great job. And finalist presentation number 5, Victoria, awesome job. Now, this is the time we're going to be polling for the favorites. I'm going to ask everyone that's here in the actual meeting in this event. Now is your time to choose your top favorites in each category, so they would receive a bonus prize. So the categories are going to be most innovative and best presentation. So a Zoom poll is going to be popping up right now. So Zoom number 1, you are going to be voting on most innovative pitch. Zoom poll number 2, it's going to be who do you believe gave the best presentation? Again, there should be a poll popping up. Zoom poll number 1 is who did the most innovative pitch. And Zoom poll number 2 is going to be who do you think gave the best presentation? Now is the time to vote. Now is your time to vote. And I just thank you all for even participating. Hope you all gather some notes about your ideas and your career paths with these presentations. It takes a whole lot of boldness. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of time and energy put together, bouncing ideas and feedback to grow and get to the point that they're at right now. So again, we got Zoom poll number 1, best innovative pitch. Most innovative pitch. Zoom poll number 2, best overall presentation. The results will be in at approximately 1:25 p.m. So the results will be in. Now, with that being said, we got a little bit more time so we can vote. Hurry up and vote, and make sure that you all follow JobsFirstNYC on all social media, and make sure that you share what you all are learning here in the chat. We are going to be moving on. We got about a minute or so. We're going to be moving on to our 2 panels, our business entrepreneurship panel soon, and our social entrepreneurship panel that's coming.